Okay. Stop my share and pin my video. Good morning, everyone. All right. So again, using the PKnot today, just the PKnot. So if you don't have that, make sure that you do have a DIY PKnot, or you can use a lacrosse ball or tennis ball as an alternative, but you will get more out of today's session with the PKnot. So with that being said, I'm going to start my timer, move back here. The first thing I want to do is lie down on the floor on my front. I'm going to take the PKnot, have it stand up like so, bring it right under the armpit, right onto the chest. And what I want to do here for about 45 seconds is just simply lift my arm up and down off the floor. We're really digging the PKnot into the inside of the chest muscle. Lifting up so we get a little more pressure in the muscle, and relax as we rest our arm on the floor. Taking our time. Feel free to, if you have your PKnot, grab around the neck area just to make it a little more stable. Let's do one more up, hold, bring it down. Excellent. Switching sides, again, grabbing the inside of the chest muscle and placing the PKnot right underneath, resting the PKnot on the floor, straight arm all the way out. And then we're gonna lift up and down for 45 seconds. Feel free to lean into it a little bit if you'd like. Just a slight lean is all I'm doing today. The PKnot works great for this exercise because when you have it vertical like so, you have a little bit more area to cover with the PKnot than you would with your tennis ball or lacrosse ball. About another 10 seconds. And then we're going to lie on our side. Excellent. All right, moving on, doing a sideline position. Taking the PKnot and wrapping it right around the back of the shoulder in a diagonal position. Resting down, arm out. One of my favorite things to do is down and up, little internal and external rotation. If you feel like you need to lean back a little bit as you move back and lean forward as you bring the hand down, you can do that as well. If you want to get a little bit more pressure into the muscle right under the shoulder. This is also a great time to see how your range of motion is, going from the floor to as far back as you can go. I can do a little bit more than 90 degrees myself, which is pretty good. I want to see if I can get as close to the floor as possible for both sides. One side, let's switch to the other. Again, diagonal position right behind the shoulder. Resting down, and my arm out, and the arm down, as far back as I can go. Deep breathing, take your time. You don't have to go at my pace. You can go a little bit slower if you'd like to for this exercise. I'm really feeling this one when I bring my arm back, which is telling me I have a few knots. So I think for that knot, I'm going to hold here a little bit longer. Just press down into the PKnot. All right, relax. Little tactics you can do at home. If you feel any knots, feel free to hold the position for about 10 seconds if you need to at any time. All right, moving on to the IT band. We're going to let the PKnot slide down and up on the very outside of our leg. We're going to do that lying onto the side. I'm going to have one knee up for support. On my elbow, I'm just going to slide a little bit up and down. With the PKnot, you'll have a little bit more control. If you want to tilt forward or back, to really dig into a certain area around the outside of your leg, you can do that. Small motions here. So I'm only working on the upper half right now, but if you want to go all the way down to your knee, you can do that as well. We got less than 10 seconds before we switch sides. Excellent. Moving to the other side. I'm going to make sure I have my chat open in case anyone has questions during this time. Nothing yet. That's good. All right. Now, side, straighten out that leg, and moving up and down. Again, I'm only going to be working the upper half of the outside of my leg for today, because that's where I feel it the most. If you want to work a little bit lower, you can do that. Again, feel free to tilt back a little bit if you'd like to, or forward, wherever you feel it the most. Trying to have this straight leg here, hover right over the floor. We only got 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Moving on to a seated position for the hamstring. So taking that PKnot, it's going to roll up and down on the hamstring. I'm going to do that with a straight leg. The free leg will have a bent knee. So we slide back and forth. This one, I have a little bit more range of motion in this position, so I'm going to go all the way to the back of the knee, and all the way up to right below the glute. If you want to tilt a little bit to your side, on the outside or the inside of the leg, you can do that as well, just to find wherever you feel the PKnot working the most. And again, if you have any knots, just hold there for about 5 to 10 seconds and then go back to the backwards and forwards motion. All right, that's our cue to switch legs. I'm going to switch angles as well. 3, 2, 1, moving forward and back. Again, feel free to tilt a little on your outside or the inside. I actually feel it quite a bit if I lean on the outside. If leaning is a little awkward, best thing for you to do is just tilt your foot out to the side to really work on the outer side of your hamstring. Or same thing, vice versa, inside. Now I'm doing this on a mat, so it's fairly easy to do this on a mat. If I wanted to do this on the hardwood floor, I feel a lot more pressure with the PKnot. All right, moving on. We're going to sit on our PKnot. One end on each cheek. Make sure you're not sitting on your bone. Make sure you're sitting on the muscle. Feel free to either hold this position for 45 seconds or you can do small forward and backward motions. I'm talking just an inch or two forward and back. Small motions like this. Taking your time. Again, you can lean a little to one side. I'm going to change my angle here. Tilt on one side by letting the knees tilt to one side or the other way. If you really want to focus a little bit more on one cheek that may have a knot in it. 3, 2, and 1. The last thing I want to do today is work on the neck, and I'm going to come forward a little bit more. Taking one end of the PKnot, putting it right on the back of your neck, and we're going to do circular motions. This is another thing you can do very easily with a tennis ball, so if you want to do that instead, you can. So I'm doing small circular motions, rotating clockwise, just like that. on one spot in the neck. My chin is close to my collarbone. About halfway there. I'm gonna switch the rotation from clockwise to counterclockwise. Very small motions here. If you need to reposition and get a different area of your back of your neck, you can. Excellent. All right, moving on from one side to the other side, just like this. And we're going to start with, I'm going to start with counterclockwise motions in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Pressing down as hard as you can tolerate. Again, if you find any knots, you can hold and press down. No circular motions needed for about 5 to 10 seconds. After that, you can go back to your circular motions. Switching the rotation. Find a different spot if you need to, if you feel it's a little more tense. I'm finding several spots myself. This is a sign I need to work on the left side of my neck. It's been giving me trouble lately. 3, 2, and 1. And that is it for today. So thank you all for joining me this morning. As usual, make sure you drink plenty of water after these sessions as well as before. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. I'll be on a little bit longer to answer any questions you might have. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. If you want to try this session again, it'll be on our YouTube page later on today. So again, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next workout. Bye, everyone.